interrupting the show for a special report.
Because now it is time for Bag Lab.
Okay, so for tonight's Bag Lab, I decided to revisit a free project that I had from when I looked at it. It was about 11 years ago. It's for a shoulder strap pad. My original version featured binding so that you could open and close the padded strap to remove it or put it back on your strap. But I decided to revisit it and feature instructions to make it without binding. The instructions without binding just means you need to put it on your strap as you're assembling the bag, just because it needs to stay on permanently. But I thought it would be a good option because I know not everyone likes binding. So here's one of my straps with the shoulder pad on it, and it's got a bit of soft and stable, so it's nice and cushioned against your shoulder when you're wearing it. This is really helpful, especially for heavy or travel bags. So I've got a link in the description to 2 free printable PDFs that I've got. I'm going to have Danny switch to the overhead camera. So here's the 2 PDFs that I've designed. These are free downloads, and I've got shoulder straps for 3 different sizes of finished straps. So I've got, and it's all marked on the pattern pieces, a 1-inch wide, 1.5-inch wide, and I know 2-inch wide isn't super common, but I had that size for the binding version, so I thought I'd carry it over to this version without the binding. And I've also got notation on each piece for what you need to cut from each fabric and piece of interfacing. So for tonight's demonstration, I'm going to be working off the 1.5-inch wide piece. So I've got my piece cut out, and before the show I cut out all of my pieces from fabric and interfacing. So I've got my main piece, I've got one attached to foam interfacing, one attached to shape flex, and then I've got my 2 rectangles. They each have shape flex, and I've already attached the shape flex on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to start off with sewing the 2 rectangles right sides together. So I'm just going to lay them on top of my dark blue piece for just a second, just so that I can make clear what side you'll need to sew. So you'll be sewing the short end. We'll leave the long ends unstitched for now. So I'm just going to add wonder clips on both of the short ends, and we're going to be sewing both of these short ends using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, so we're going to turn this right side out and press, and I'm just going to use my fingers to kind of roll out the seam so that I can get a nice even press. Okay, so I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine, and I'm actually going to sew the entire outer edge, so all 4 edges, using 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, and I'm going to slightly increase my stitch length for this top stitching to 3 millimeters. Okay, so now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to attach it to the piece with the shape flex, and I'm going to take my ruler and just make sure that it's centered. So I'm going to be stitching just both of these raw edges down 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the fabric. And now we're going to add the piece with the foam interfacing attached to it. So I'm going to place both of these pieces so that they're right sides together. And we actually need to leave an opening for turning everything right side out. So I'm going to leave an opening on this long edge right here. So I'm going to turn back to my regular stitch length, and then I'll be sewing this using 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, now I'm going to notch the curved edges, and that just means cutting a V within the seam allowance, and you want to be careful not to cut into your stitching at all. Okay, so now we're going to turn everything right side out and press, and I've got my precision turning tool over here for helping to kind of push out the curved edges. And if you prefer, if you'd rather not use foam interfacing, you can also use like a Pellon Thermolam. Fusible fleece will be a little bit thinner, but that's another thought as well. Okay, so I'm going to give this a press, and I'm also going to kind of use my fingers to turn the raw edge in toward the inside. And I'm just doing this quickly on camera, but you can certainly spend a little time to make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, so I'm going to use wonder clips to hold the opening closed. And I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine. Again, I'm going to lengthen my stitch length to 3 millimeters for this top stitching. And I'm just going to stitch all the way around, and that'll close the opening. Okay, so that's what the finished strap pad looks like. While you're constructing the bag, before you finish it, you'll insert the strap. And like I mentioned, this needs to be done during the assembly process because this particular piece without the binding does not come on and off. And this is what it looks like attached to your finished strap. So if you have a strap with a swivel clip or a lobster clasp that opens and closes on the bag when the bag's finished, you'll be able to add this. But if the strap is sewn into the bag, again, you'll need to make sure you attach it while you're assembling it. And you can either use the 2 different fabrics like I've done here, or use a single fabric just for more of a cohesive look. So again, my download is in the description in case you'd like to download this. And I've also linked to the shoulder strap pad from way back when with the binding in case you prefer the binding version that you can open and close. I hope you enjoyed that demonstration. I'm going to be answering some questions live in just a minute, so if you have a question for me, you can go ahead and type it in now, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. It can be a sewing related question, question about a notion or tool, bag making related question,